Good morning, everybody. It's me, Nana. We're going to do a really quick review. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and to be honest with you, when I first heard about the We Are Memory Keepers precision press, I was a little, concerned because of my dedication and loyalty to the Misti, as we all are, I'm sure, those of us who use it on a regular basis. And Misti was responsible, really, for one, getting me to buy a lot more stamps, but two, having the confidence to do so. So, I bought the precision press, hoping to be able to take advantage of their new product, which is the CYMK. I'll be doing a video on that as well. I'm very excited about that. But I thought, okay, so I paid a lot of money for the Misti, as we all did. We all love the Misti, but I want to know, what's the difference? And is it a standalone? Do we need one or the other, or can just one suffice? First of all, before we get started, we'll look at the obvious. The Misti, they have the mini, which I'm going to put this one away. It's no need for the comparison, and as you can see, it's quite well loved. It was the first one that I got, used it quite a bit, and then my needs increased, and I went to the larger one. As you see, the larger one, again, very well used. Let me show you. Nana is a kind of a messy crafter, but that's not why we're here. We're here to compare the two, and here's something that I also picked up from Jennifer McGuire. She has so many subscribers. I'm sure you've seen her use this now instead of the two. I found it to be quite helpful, and one of the best tips. She just wrapped like washi tape. This is material tape around so that you can pick it up easily, because this is quite strong. It's quite strong. I will leave a link in the description so you can see. It's like under $7 for this, and it's a wonderful tool. I recommend it. I may get another one just because I like using my Mistis. I still use the mini, and I use this one. Now, okay, so we have the precision press. First thing I noticed was the weight. It's quite light, but that's because there is no magnet here. See, it has a really, this backing actually helps it not to move. So I found that to be very helpful. But again, it's different in the sense that it doesn't have the weight because it doesn't have a magnet. That's significant because, that magnet helps us. However, what they do is you put the piece of paper into the corner, and as long as you continue to keep it in the corner, you shouldn't have that problem nor the need for the magnet. That's the premise, okay? I do know, however, that even with a well conditioned stamp, it will lift. So you do have to pick it up and put it back. That's the difference with no magnet. Second is a positive in that when you put a piece of paper in here, it doesn't have to be 6.5 by 8.5. Here, you see, if this was a piece of paper, I could stamp on it anywhere within that range, you see, because there's nothing to stop it. It is an open floor plan, so to speak. It has grids right here, whereas on our Misti, we have to put the grid line paper. It has grid on the lid. Our Misti has a grid on the lid. The Misti has very clear markings. 6.5 by 8.5. We know where and how big our piece of paper is. Here we do, but it's colored on the outside, but not so much here. And for me, old lady that I am, sometimes I have to really look for that. So in fact, you can see it is there. There it is. See, it's engraved in. What I'll probably do, as I have in my other things that are like this, I use my pen so that it comes out more clear. But I didn't want to mess with this. Okay, so we're going to move along. What we're going to do, I have these stamps from Hot Off the Press. They're one of their brand new stamps, and I did condition it. Conditioning it is a simple process of taking a baby wipe. In my case, I use fragrance-free baby wipes, and these are the inexpensive non-brand baby wipes. I condition them very well. I clean off any residue from the back side of the stamp. Just wipe them real good, swipe it really good. And then I use a wet washcloth, just wet with water, to rinse off any residue that the baby wipe might leave behind. All you have to do is take out the stamp to make it the easiest. Take off this acetate, keep everything on it, and then do your swiping. It's so simple, but very important, and it reduces the amount of lift that you get when you stamp. Now, I am not an expert. I am a beginner, and that is why I'm showing you what I'm showing you, because I don't know if any of you are like me in that I put off stamping because I was afraid of it until the Misti came along. So I'm, again, quite loyal to the Misti, but open-minded enough to try other things. Okay, so here we go. I have some pre-cut Nina. This is 80-pound Solar White. Let's do the Misti first. I'm going to I always put it into the corner closest to me. I always keep the magnet out of my way. I'm going to use the smallest rose, and I'm going to put it right there. See, this is going to be a stamping for the one-time stamp. I like to, Tim Holtz was talking about his new stamp machine or stamp tool, and I really can't wait. I think I might go ahead and get that one too, because again, it has different properties. You can't have enough tools, right? Just keep telling myself that. Okay, so we're going to stamp it up. We've placed it, and then we're going to stamp it up. Now, my Memento is not as juicy as my StazOn, but probably because I use it more than the StazOn. But again, Memento, StazOn, doesn't matter. There's also the Simon Says stamp. They have a very good black color, performs very well. And here's the Tim Holtz CPR. He was at the CHA showing his new stamping tool, and he was talking about CPR, that we all do it. We all know it, but never thought about it in those terms. So I'm doing CPR to my stamp. And I do a good amount. So, all right, look at that. Pretty good impression. Now, that is actually a good enough impression. And you know what? I think I'm going to leave it because I am going to color it. And that'll be another comparison. Okay, so we'll keep that there. And not bad, right? That's what we expect from our stamping tool. If I stamped it again, I'd have a pretty good, a much darker impression. But because I know I'm going to use alcohol ink on it, I don't want to push my luck because I have a tendency to make all of them bleed. You know, and I'm going to clean this off before we use it on the precision press and let it dry just to be fair. Start with a clean stamp on both. As you can see, those are the differences. I stamped it. It did not lift. One, surely is because this was conditioned properly, and two, because of the magnet. So sometimes just the magnet will work, but I'm telling you, if you condition your stamp, it really helps the lift, or minimize the lift, as I call it. Okay, so let's get our precision press. Okay, we have the 80-pound Nina Solar White, and we have our stamp. I'm going to turn this around. So I'm going to really juice this up as much as I did the other one. No, keep it honest. And you know what? Just to make sure I remember what's what, I'm going to mark this with a P so I know which one is which when we do our final comparison. And I'm going to ink that up again because I talked. Make sure that it's nice and juicy. here we go. Again, the mechanism is different, no magnet, and I'm a little insecure about that. That's really my insecurity. I need to relax about it. And then we'll do the CPR. This doesn't give as much. Again, this seems to be a much thicker piece of plastic, or whatever kind of plastic it is. I'm going to keep my CPR, do it as much as I did the other, allowing the ink to absorb into the paper. I used to really rush, and really with the Misti, I can. But for these purposes, I'm going to, try to do it the same as I did. One go round. Do my CPR and let it lay itself onto the paper. Now, let's see. Look, no lift. And probably because, again, this is a good conditioned stamp. And I'm telling you, no difference. They might be slight. There may be some differences, but not to the naked eye. So what does that tell us? That tells us that, yes, the Misti is a wonderful, wonderful tool. It is expensive. It's still expensive. I have a feeling, though, that the price will go down. But remember, they were the first. It's very expensive to put any product out in the market. Yes, I paid a little bit more, but it was money well spent. And I do use both. The precision press has a place in my craft room. The reason for this was, should I return it? Do I really need a precision press? Well, for the properties that I told you already, that this is an open floor plan. I can put any size. It works well with its own products, which I plan on using. And I know that they will increase this line because this is a killer idea. In fact, I will do a video right after this one on that. So, okay, we're done. I hope that this helps you. This was purchased on HSN, I believe, 1995. So as far as your expense is concerned, it is considerably lower. It doesn't have the fun and the heavy and the comforting feeling of the Misti. However, if you don't start on the Misti, you're not going to notice what's missing. And that's all I have to say. I hope this helped you. I hope those of you who do have Mistis and are very loyal, believe me, I am too. I will probably continue to use my Misti on a daily basis. And this, because of its price, I don't mind keeping. It is a specialized tool for something else. And that's all I have for today. And I do hope you have a great day and keep color in your life. And we'll see you soon. Bye now.